Hi, I'm Annalise Shum, the Senior Programs Manager for the Seattle Design Festival. I'm joining you from the unceded lands of various Coast Salish people, and I'd like to thank you so much for joining us tonight for this virtual information session to learn more about the 2022 Seattle Design Festival. For over a decade, the Seattle Design Festival has been unleashing the design thinker in all of us, empowering each of us to find our own path to change making through design. Tonight's program is a chance to learn how to partner with this year's festival, which will explore the theme of connection and examine how design can affirm and strengthen the critical connections within our communities. We're excited to announce the return of a full week of festival programming, which will launch on August 20th with the block party, followed by community spotlights throughout the week. A virtual main stage will take place on August 23rd, and we'll have a closing party on August 26th. In just a moment, I'll be turning it over to some of the amazing volunteers who serve on the festival planning team. They'll review each of the different festival elements I've just mentioned. They'll also share a bit more about what they're looking forward to and provide some more information about the submission process. We've reserved some time at the end to answer any remaining questions you may have. Now, the group you're about to meet is a big part of what makes the Seattle Design Festival, but the other part is you, our design community. I hope that this information session helps you find your place as a partner with this year's festival, and I look forward to seeing the amazing proposals that are submitted by May 23rd. Let's start off by learning a bit more about the Seattle Design Festival Block Party.
Hey everybody, I'm Trevor Dykstra, one of the coordinators for this year's Seattle Design Festival Block Party. Block Party is an annual event that's been happening for 10 years now. This year, like the last few years, will be in Lake Union Park on August 20th and 21st, with the same hours as last year, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. The Block Party is made up of two distinct elements. Built installations, which are a 3-day commitment to build and showcase your installation, as well as pop-up experiences, lighter commitment of between 2 and 4 hours on both days of the event. We're going to talk to both teams that are working on these two parts of the block party. We're going to start with the built installation team. Take it away.
Hello everyone, this is Yasser Altimimi. I'm one of the block party coordinators. I have been with the festival for 6 years and I'm very excited to come back. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tyler Schaefer, and I am new to the committee this year. Glad to be here.
Welcome, Tyler. I'm Trevor Dykstra. I think anybody who's a repeat knows me at this point. I've been around since the beginning of the Design Festival.
Hi, I'm Christine Vu. This is my first year joining the festival, and I'm really excited to see what we have in store and everything. So, yes,
Welcome.
sir, I was wondering, what's the block party installation?
Oh, thank you, Christy. So, a block party installation is a physical installation that is designed and built by architects, artists, activists who would like to participate in the Seattle Design Festival. The most successful installations would be the installations that would engage the community. Especially this year's theme is connections. So we'd like to see installation that is very interactive and engage the community and take in consideration the different age groups and different population. Thank you.
And we should note that the festival this year is going to occur August 20th and 21st. That's over a Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, the block party is on that weekend on Saturday and Sunday. If you're participating in it and you're new to the event, you should know that the 19th will also be part of your commitment. That is a Friday. That's the day we set up and everything needs to be installed. So if you're part of this event as an installation, you'll want to remember that you're committed to being there August 19th, 20th, and 21st. And we do require that everything be removed by 10 a.m. on the 22nd. So you may even need to lump in that day as well into your calendar of thinking.
When is the last day for us to enter a proposal?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that's going to come up later in the event, but let me check the calendar. It is May
So
23rd.
23rd.
Yes. And some things you need to know when you're submitting. We, as a committee, when we're reviewing your proposals, obviously we really care about what your design is and your concept. We also really want to know the size and scale of what you're proposing. There are no limits on that as part of the proposal, though we may come back and limit your size based upon available space. If you're new to this, the general size that people have worked with in the past is 10 by 10 by 10. That's a good kind of size for something that is built. But we've had things, as we go through our images here, as small as a few feet wide. Here's a couple of pictures from previous years. Yasser, jump in as I'm...
Absolutely.
Well,
So one of the other
one thing to
considerations.
note,
Go ahead, Tyler. No worries.
I was just going to say one thing to note that, all of these, whatever the size they are, do need to be structurally sound, and we can't have anything pinned or mounted to the ground. They all have to be freestanding.
That's an excellent point. Yes, no hanging off the trees, no staking in the ground. Those are rules that come from the Parks Department. We want to continue to use this lovely park, so we ask everybody to respect that space.
Absolutely. That's what I'm going to say, Tyler. Thank you. That's a very valid point.
I read your mind.
Every year, absolutely. Every year when we review the installations, we would find some things that would work and some things that would not work. So we would be in contact with you, and we would let you know what's going to work and what's not going to work. But usually we would need to see something that is physically sound and it's not going to hurt anyone on the site, because we're going to be engaging the public. So you will have different from people, from kids to adults. So we need to take in consideration that your installation is safe for everyone to use and to interact with.
So I
Yeah,
was
that's a
wondering,
good point. It also needs to be, sorry, go ahead.
oh, do we also have to be there the entire time?
Yes, that's a great question. And you do. So when we're talking about commitments, time commitments, if you're providing installation, you need to be there to staff your installation during event hours, which are 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's 9 hours of day there. It's a big commitment, but we don't like leaving anything unattended. Especially because we like all these things that move and interact, and folks, especially kids, can grab things and move them around. And because of that, we want somebody there to make sure, both to keep it safe, but also just to interact with the public and talk about your process and what you set out to do there.
And I do think that that interaction element is really important. Think about installations that are engaging for people. And similar to what Yasser said, one thing that is important is how to consider accessibility for different user groups.
Absolutely. And especially for this year, we have the theme connection. So we need really to see installation that focus on that theme exactly and bring it to life through these physical installations.
Yeah, it's a fun event. Hope everybody will submit something. Last year, we had 30 installations, I believe. That was a somewhat down year from the pandemic return. We've had 50 in the past, and that's what we're hoping for is 50 or more big installations out there with a lot of engagement, a lot of bright color, like so here, getting people excited. It's a great few days in the park. Let's let's kick it over to Shauna and the rest of the gang for the pop up experiences subcommittee to talk about the other aspect of the block party.
Hi, I'm Shauna Wilson, and I'm a volunteer for the Seattle Design Festival. I work on the block party, concentrating on our pop-up experiences.
Do we have like an order we want to go?
However you'd like. You're next, Yuris.
Perfect. Hello, my name is Yuris Garone. I'm a volunteer here with the Seattle Design Festival. And we're excited to let you know a little bit about what we have for you. Whoever's next.
Hi, I'm Stephen Yang, and I'm one of the volunteers for the block party for Seattle Design Festival.
Nice. And I'm Jessie Moon. I'm also volunteering for the pop-up experiences for this year's festival. Shauna, do you want to take it away, letting everybody know what
Sure.
in general is going on?
What is the pop-up experience? This is the newest addition to the block parties. We started these last year in 2021, and it was a way to increase opportunities for people to participate. The traditional block party participant would spend 3 days down at the festival, 1 day to set up and 2 full days engaging with the public. Introducing the block party allowed us to let people come in for 2 to 4 hours and engage with the public, hands-on workshops and different shorter experiences that were really hands-on engaging did the best. We have some on the scroll there. And our hope was to make it the festival block party more accessible for students or smaller nonprofits to participate because they, taking reducing the capacity of commitment for them. So, Jessie, who should apply?
Yes, I already touched on it there a little bit, but basically anyone with an interactive idea who would like to share with festival guests. So lots of participation, interaction with festival goers. Last year, we had a few different outstanding submissions. So emerging gratitudes where guests were invited to write a note to anyone and leave it behind, taking one written by someone else. Then Coyote Central hosted a hands-on woodworking workshop. They even had, what was it again, Shauna? What do they bring in and plug in?
Oh, they had wood burning. They did wood burning.
Yes, super cool. And then the other one was the Cornish students. They gave a design thinking demonstration using Legos, and there was even a pop-up Foursquare tournament. So it runs the gamut. And then was it Eurus? You're talking about how to apply?
So if this already gets you excited about the design festival, and now it'll find out that, hey, I can participate and I can do even less work, then why not? So if you want to apply, you've probably seen our CFP, or what we like to call for proposal. And in that application, you can submit and just indicate that, I want to be a part of the pop-up. And that's great, especially, if you're only going to be there for 3 to 4 hours and you want to make sure that you're giving back to the design community in some way. And let's say you're a nonprofit, or maybe you're a student, maybe just an individual, right? You're like, oh, I really want to apply, but guess what? Cash is tight because of the world right now. Just let us know in the application, and we'll be able to consider you for hopefully some donations that will help offset some of these costs. All right,
So
Stevie,
I
can you
guess
tell us
what?
a little bit more?
Yeah. So I think we can kind of talk about what we're excited about. We're excited that we want to have these pop-up experiences to grow. Of course, that's something that we always want to see. Regardless of those people who want to do a quick in and out of the event, but also we want to connect with you guys. The newer people who have these new ideas. We want to try to connect with you and engage this festival and hope to see you guys there. Yeah. So, do you guys have any questions?
Hi, I'm Tyler Schaefer with the Virtual Main Stage Committee.
Hey there, I'm Cal Dobrinsky.
And I'm Trevor Dykstra, also with the Virtual Main Stage Committee. This is new this year. Tyler, can you tell us what this is going to be?
Yes, it is going to be a online live broadcast featuring virtual programs and pre-recorded content. The content can be either presented live or it could also be pre-recorded. Participants can host interviews, instructional videos, lectures, performances, any number of different things. Shows can be up to 25 minutes long, and the reason for that limit is we want to keep the content really lively and exciting and keep people engaged. This is new this year, and something we kind of realize is that some content is better presented virtually. We find that it could be more accessible and reach a larger audience. So that's why we're adding this feature to the festival this year.
Yeah, that's what I think
Cal
I'm
or
most
Trevor?
excited about. Yeah, is the accessibility feature of this to reach different audiences, reach different folks, perhaps throughout the states and even abroad. And while it will be 11 to 7 on August 23rd, it will be all recorded for you to watch afterwards as well.
Yeah, I think you really hit on the power of it. That the festival is local on a lot of our other parts, but this is our international outreach option. This folks from around the world can get involved, as well as folks in Seattle reaching a global audience. This is really what it would look like. I mean, this is a live stream. One thing we wanted to emphasize was that the festival committee will be sort of doing the production of this, and that will, if you're scared by the idea of streaming live or video, that's not a problem. We're here to help. It'll all be flowing through our channel, through our YouTube live stream, and we're there to sort of work as a collective on this versus the more submit something to us and we'll put it up thing. This is gonna be a little more what's the right word? Collaborative.
Yeah.
Because this is a new idea, and so we're really looking for folks' energy and excitement here.
Totally. And while Tyler mentioned you can have lectures, perhaps panels, we're also looking for things like a co-design experience, perhaps a workshop, or you can make a mini film. You can think of anything that would work in this virtual space. So you can try to think outside of the box as well for your concepts and ideas.
Yeah, we'll.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the sort of diverse content that we're going to see here and present it out to, a large audience.
We've created a there's both a best of the festival blog post on our website cdesignfest.org that has some examples of things to inspire you. We'll also be creating a YouTube playlist that'll be available on the Seattle Design Festival YouTube account of other things that we think might trigger some ideas, like Tyler and Cal said, beyond lectures or panels. So, we want everybody to think broader and more exciting and bite-sized.
Totally. I'm really excited for different concepts to come through in this virtual space, perhaps to engage youth or how folks could get interested and involved in design in different aspects. That's what I'm really looking forward to within this space as well.
Great.
We look forward to seeing everybody's submissions.
Woo-hoo.
Hi, everybody. We are the Community Spotlight Subcommittee. My name is Adam. I've been with the festival for a few years, and I'm excited to bring Community Spotlights back to the fest.
Hi, my name is Jessie. I am new to this subcommittee this year, and I'm super excited to see what everybody brings to the table.
Hi, I'm Matt, and this is my 5th year with the festival. I'm going to kick it back to Adam, who will talk about where and when community spotlights will happen this year.
All right, guys. Community Spotlights this year are focused celebrations of our neighborhoods in Seattle. Give you a chance to get to know your design community, have a night out or a day out with them, and learn how design affects your neighborhood. Jessie is going to tell us where and when.
All right, cool. The first one is happening in Fremont on Monday, August 22nd. It's an evening time slot, so from 5 to 8 p.m. The second one will be happening in Columbia City on Wednesday, August 24th. This is also another evening activity, so 5 to 8 p.m. And then the final will be in the downtown area on Thursday, August 25th. And this one is a lunchtime, so 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And Matt's going to tell us more about some of the successful proposals we've had in previous years.
Right. And the Seattle Design Festival absolutely cares about the design concepts that people bring to the festival, but we also care about the design context. And in years past, we've had community spotlights in the Capitol Hill neighborhood, Georgetown, and even downtown Seattle. And Adam can talk about some of the things that we are looking for from members of communities who may want to celebrate design within their community, and the way design relates to the context of neighborhood.
Yeah, so we open the neighborhood up to kind of whatever you guys want to propose. It should take place on the day and time frame. But you can do an art gallery. You could have a studio happy hour. You could do a talk about a topic of your choice around our festival theme. This year is Connect. You could do a dance. And at some level, we are looking for partners to connect their neighborhood and their design community and get out with their neighbors. So thanks. Join the community spotlights, and we can't wait to see you there.
All right, we're back. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hopefully those clips helped to answer some questions, but I think we're here now to answer any remaining questions that might be out there. Is that right?
That's for sure. We've got one I'm going to throw on here. And I'll find a way to make this look nice on our screen. Maybe we'll just put it right over the middle. So this is a question from Josh. There we go. That's probably a little easy to read. When do you find out about your specific site for built installations to Block Party, and also can you request a site? So for the first part, you'll find out when we announce acceptance to the program or to the event on, Annalie, do you have the date in
We should be able to announce those acceptances by the 27th of May, so giving us some time to review those proposals, which are due, remember,
There we go.
on May 23rd at 5 p.m.
So we have May 30th in the thing, and so that's when you'll receive, as part of the Block Party, you'll receive an acceptance packet, which will have a map of your preliminary location. The locations are set by a bunch of things behind the scenes, so we don't give anybody the exact specific spot in advance. Though if you've got an area which you'd really prefer, we've had a few that required sort of a certain venue to work. You can throw that in your proposal, and we'll kind of take that under advisement. To the second half of this is a possible request near the lake or even be in it. So near the lake. You can be within sort of our areas of our site. We're only on the grass. There's never anything on the sidewalks, never anything on the rails. So you could be on the water side versus the walkways, the sort of central walkway of the site. That's something you could request, and we would probably be able to make that happen. Floating in it is a different thing. In general, no. If you've got a great idea, go ahead and submit it, and we'll review. But for the most part, we're trying to avoid things, especially because the Parks Department is very concerned with things going in the water or on the water. But there's sort of a process to everything. If we know in advance, we can kind of consider some bigger ideas. So hopefully that answered your question. For we should ask that maybe for pop-up. Is there any special things?
The most special thing to consider when you're submitting for a pop-up is how quickly we can get it in and get it out, because that is a rotating space. Pop-up experiences are on site for 2 to 4 hours total, so we really try to keep things to a 30-minute flip between the setup, and we do have volunteers that help you do that, but that's it's kind of on the whole team to participate and make sure that is an easy transition. And if you do submit for a pop-up and you think it might take closer to 40 minutes or something like that, please let us know if there's a constraint, because we can work with you. But the general rule is 30 minutes in, 30 minutes out, and be ready to participate from 2 to 4 hours based on your preference.
Another one here. For the Block Party, if I submit my proposal, can I still change it? Yes. There's a timeline to this. So your initial proposal that you'll submit on May 23rd, we want that to be your first idea. There's time for that to evolve. In fact, we even have in our call for proposals June 9th as the sort of deadline for final decisions. I can tell you, as far as some logistical items, your proposal, if whatever you submitted on the 23rd of May, that size and scale is generally what we're going to want you to hold to. So changes about that can certainly be accomplished, and we expect that, but we don't necessarily want someone to submit something on the 23rd that is one thing, and then in June we find out, well, actually it's 300 feet long or something. We'd probably want a little bit of a heads up on that. But yes, you'll have opportunities to uh, amend or further detail your proposals across the board. And I think Annalie could probably speak to that.
Yeah, I would just add that, of course, you can modify your designs as long as you honor what you've submitted in that initial proposal. And then in terms of that June 9th deadline, one of the biggest benefits of being part of the Seattle Design Festival is our ability to talk about you and share the amazing work that you're doing with our public. And in order to do that, we have to have copy and be able to communicate what your experience is to the broader Seattle community. That's really what that June 9th deadline is going to be. It's helping us meet the deadlines in order to attract the people to the park to engage with the work that you have spent all spring to bring forward in the summer.
Adam, probably we should go for the same question that Shauna just had. Are there anything special that people can consider when submitting for the community spotlights?
Yeah, so community spotlights, we really want you to partner with a business or a venue or even your own space within your neighborhood. When you start occupying the sidewalk or the streets, we get into some conflicts of interest with the SDOT departments. So without a permit, we ask that you don't put anything in the sidewalks or streets. That being said, if you want to go for that and you can secure those permits on your own, you are more than welcome to, and we'd love to see that. Let's see, do we have more questions? For pop-ups.
This is one for Shauna.
I think you're muted, Shauna.
Sorry, Shauna, I had muted you with the whistle.
Sorry about that. So you can request a little bit longer time if you need to. Just let us know. We did have a few folks that were able to fill an all-day pop-up experience for us, and because it was new last year, we had the capacity to allow that. So put in your preference, but be really thinking about a 2 to 4 hour as best as you possibly can.
I think the other thing to add just really quickly for the pop-ups and the built, and I know this was touched on, but any time that you're committing to having a presence on the festival for the block party, that means time you're committing to be present at the block party event. So as a reminder, it's really important to engage the public as they're coming up to make sure that it's an interactive and inviting experience. And so as you're thinking about capacity, do keep in mind that physical presence that we ask from you so that you're able to share more about your design thinking process with curious visitors.
Adam, this question makes me laugh. We have very limited power at South Lake Union Park. We're limited to light pole power, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. So as best as you possibly can, communicate your power needs. We will do our best to, last year we placed the pop-up experience in a space that allowed for some power, very limited power, and we will do our best this year as well. But sometimes things happen. Be ready.
All right.
We had that answers part of the question that came from YouTube. Was asking about power access for pop-up, but also what type of pop-ups have you noticed to be successful?
The best pop-ups last year were ones that were really hands-on, and it didn't have to be specifically for young designers or young makers, but those were really, really engaging. Screen printing was popular. The opportunity, like anything with Legos, is very popular. But things that really gave that hands-on. And what was exciting is that pop-up flipped a couple of times during the day. So if a group walked in or an individual walked in, they could see a pop-up experience at the beginning, see the rest of the festival, and then go by pop-up again and see something different and engage with somebody else. Because they were, very interactive and engaging, we do want people to be there the entire time and to be ready to talk to people and really engage with the visitors who are coming into the festival.
Yeah, pop-ups are really cool. I enjoyed them last year, especially as a new thing for the festival, and to see them kind of rotate out and span across a lot of ages. It is something like we had Coyote Central was had all the kids.
Exactly. It was really, really fun to see, and it was a great way for groups. And there were a lot of non-architect design groups that were there, and that was a really good way for them to participate because they wouldn't necessarily need to bring in a big structure. We provided some tables and some chairs, and we made it easy for you to just kind of drop in what you're working on.
You don't have to be an architect to do the festival. Is that correct, Trevor, to do Block Party?
Hopefully not. Yeah, we want everybody. I know that the built thing tends to attract more of the building industry, but we've had everyone. You don't even need to be a designer to be part of the design festival. We've had everyone across the spectrum be involved with the block party in some way. It can be intimidating to build something, but we're there to sort of offer some, not assistance, but insight from years past. We should note that there are micro grants from the festival that you can apply from across the board, not just for the block party, depending on need and qualifications. You'll see that when you go to apply for a proposal for the festival. We also like to point out, there's tool libraries, there's maker spaces and things like that that can sort of get you on the road if you're looking to build something as well.
I think, with the 4 different types of ways of engaging for the festival, there's really kind of something for everyone. It makes it really exciting to be a part of that. You have this diverse way of participating in the festival. I think that's great, and I think hopefully we'll get a lot of really creative ideas. And I think anyone can be a designer, right? I think that's what we really want to convey here, is that anyone can propose something and participate. And I think that's what makes the festival really enriching, is to have that diversity of experiences.
I agree. And I also, sorry, Adam.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say with some of the pop-up experiences, I thought they conveyed an inspiration for design thinking. So you didn't have to be a designer, but if they inspired that next generation design thinking, or just inspired that within some of the guests by being able to be so interactive and so hands-on, that was a really nice way to go. Go ahead, Adam. Sorry.
I was saying this year, last year the festival, our first time back in person was only 2 days. It was just the weekend. This year we have a whole week of festival, and that's how we can have pop-ups and virtual and neighborhood stuff. So if you're design light or even hesitant to leave your neighborhood, you can participate and join in and have fun. And even if, for me specifically, the neighborhood stuff, if you're a small business and you just want to host an artist, reach out to us and we can kind of help facilitate those relationships.
So there's a couple more questions came in here. This one we answered a little earlier, but so you aren't necessarily able to explicitly pick your location, but if you have a preference, you can certainly indicate that when you submit. With pop up, it's a little different where we have a explicit sort of pop up space, which we can speak to that more. But again, tell us your ideas, and we'll evaluate as we can. But to sort of not set anybody up for disappointment, yes, we're the ones picking for a variety of other reasons behind the scenes, and that doesn't means you don't always get the exact spot you might like, but we do our best.
I might add that we're going to work with you on this. It's not that you're proposing something and it's going to get rejected. We're going to work with you and find a good fit for both of us.
Yeah.
I got another one here. I'll put this in the middle here. Hopefully that's visible. So this is a good one. If I don't want to participate in the block party, virtual event, or pop-up event, how else can I participate?
I'm so glad to be back for this question. So we are a volunteer-led organization. As you have seen tonight, the actual festival itself is completely developed and implemented by a core team of volunteers and relies on significant support of day of volunteers. Additionally, we would love your support throughout the year. So if you're not registered to receive our emails, if you're not following us on social, that's a really easy way to engage, to just learn more about other ways to participate in the future. But we would love to have you as a volunteer in support of any of the events, and even just see you at our sneak peek at different events around as a way to dip your toes in the water and find your spot in the Seattle Design Festival.
Well, should we hit some of our kind of FAQs that we know everyone's going to ask? Let's say, are we required, or are all businesses required to pay to be a festival participant?
It's a great question. So we do require our for-profit partners to pay an application or submission fee. Those fees help to offset the costs of allowing our nonprofit student and emerging designers free application and submission to the festival. Additionally, ongoing support to the Seattle Design Festival enables us to allow funding and provide funding for nonprofit student and emerging designers who are looking for some support as they enter this large festival arena.
Awesome. All right, let's keep going. How are the proposals selected?
I feel like you guys can speak to that.
Yeah, we look at them. We look at them and we talk to you and we make sure you're meeting those several requirements that we kind of lay out in our CFP. If you haven't looked at it, you should go look at it. And we'll work with you to make sure everything's accessible and safe and doable and fits in with the theme. And we can kind of iterate together until we find something that fits really well. Anything to add to that, guy?
One thing to just share, as I know, as the planning team is reviewing, they're always thinking about our three main festival goals. Wow, I'm trying to work with my camera. 3 main festival goals. Empowering communities to leverage design, demonstrating the relevance and impact of design thinking, and then fostering that collaboration and interdisciplinary work. So if your proposals can articulate how you help us meet the festival goals, it's a really easy pass for the festival planning team to review. Additionally, accessibility is another thing that I know the planning team will be looking for. And this year, actually asking to help expedite that review, if you are able to provide a universal score, which we've provided a link to in both the call for proposals and the application, that's one way to demonstrate that you are submitting an accessible and inclusive experience for our festival goers.
All right. How can we share our design process as we're leading up to the festival? I mean, that's a we're gonna ask. Maybe you want to submit some photos to us. Maybe you want to show us some concept drawings, and then that allows us to kind of show you off as a festival participant on Instagram, on our blog posts, on our website. We have a running gallery of ideas. I think we're going to do that again this year. And then we're just going to be going live on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and everything else throughout the season as we lead up to the festival to just get excited about it. So you can look out for all of those as well. All right.
Any other questions coming in?
No questions at the moment. Do we have any more frequently asked things we want to hit on? I've got the dates up here just to highlight those. The big upcoming date, the main one we care about, is the proposals are due on May 23rd. Make sure you check out the call for proposals, which you can find at this link right here. And then the application link is within that call to make sure you read it. So please check it out. Also, you can always just go to cdesignfest.org and find it there. Do we want to say anything about the closing party? We didn't really note that in our info session.
Oh, just
other than it's happening.
Now that we're able to connect in person, we'll be bringing back a celebration of our partners, our sponsors, our volunteers, and the Seattle community that comes out in support of the Seattle Design Festival. So stay tuned for more information about that celebration. And as always, please feel free to connect with us. I'm going to plug the word connect and connection as much as I can in this conversation. You can connect with us. We've got contact information in the call. And as Adam was sharing, the festival planning team will be going live on our different channels and different platforms throughout the call window. So be sure to drop questions, comments, and chats, reach out to us on our social, send us emails. We're so excited to connect with you this summer and for you all to respond to what I think is a pretty amazing call that these amazing festival planners have put together.
Thanks.
That's you guys. You guys are the festival planners too.
I was going to play that for the closing party there. You want to plug the benefit or the Ignite event as well?
Yeah, while you are reading the call for proposals, while you're checking out the website, you'll likely see that this isn't the only program that the Seattle Design Festival is running, though it's our flagship festival. In order to keep all of our efforts going, we do look for individual donors to support the festival. Once again, that goes to keeping the festival free and accessible to the general public, allowing for funding to our nonprofit student and emerging design groups, and just working to continue the work forward so that we are able to empower everyone to find their path to change making through design. So having said all of that, we are hosting our annual fundraising event on May 4th. It is called Ignite, because we ignite and unleash the design thinker. You can find more information about that on our website at cdesignfest.org. You can go ahead and purchase your ticket now, become a supporter of the Seattle Design Festival. There are some nice perks of being a supporter, and in addition, you will know that you are supporting your Seattle design community and allowing all of the amazing programming that you all develop to be put forward to the public.
And then there's one other thing I guess we should note or highlight is on April 23rd. Welcome back, Tyler. On April 23rd, there is an in-person Q&A and workshop. So I know It's weird to put it at the end of a virtual one, but there's still people watching here. And if you're around, we'd love to see you in person. It's a great way to get very individual and specific questions answered, as well as just sort of get a jump on thinking about what you're going to propose for this year's festival.
One thing that won't happen in person is your feed won't be terrible and your call not dropped. So
I love that my call dropped as soon as Shauna said, expect like the unexpected, or it was something about not having power, and then mine. So yeah, we'll be able to connect in person without a lag.
Yeah, or delay.
On April 23rd.
Yes. Alrighty. Well, we're nearly at an hour. Are there any last things we would like to note for the audience?
The festival's fun, and I love it, and everybody loves it. So you should join and participate with us. It's fun.
Yeah, I'd just say that don't hold back. Propose something really interesting and really out there. We're looking for all sorts of different ideas to make it really a really interesting festival this year.
Definitely.
And if you watch this whole hour, bravo. that's for you.
Well, thank you all for joining.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.